Hi, I'm Bob Wilson, the Executive Director here at DCCH Center for Children and Families. I want to thank you for taking the time to stop by to participate in our online Swing into Spring event. You know, throughout the pandemic, I, like many others, have been experiencing frustration, anxiety, and even fear, emotions that you would expect when day-to-day life feels very out of control. Well, now take those feelings and multiply them by 10, 20, or whatever, and you begin to have an idea of what many of our kids at DCCH have experienced chronically throughout their entire lives. Through no fault of their own, they've had to endure poverty, neglect, abuse, physical and emotional suffering. Their world is not a safe place. Now, while this may be tough to hear, I feel it's important to have a clear picture of the children who we are treating here at DCCH. To that end, I ask you to listen to Emily Birch, our Director of Therapy here at DCCH in the Residential Treatment Program. She and her team are the dedicated boots on the ground who provide therapy and coordination of treatment for our kids in our residential program. Emily shares Charlie's story, and while Charlie is not an actual resident, I can assure you the details of his story are very real and unfortunately all too common with the majority of children who live under our roof.
Charlie came to us when he was 11 years old. Charlie has a significant history of abuse. He grew up in a home where there was very deplorable conditions. It was infested with different insects. A lot of times the family went without power, without water. Charlie witnessed a lot of substance abuse with his biological parents, and a lot of times that led to domestic violence incidents as well. There were times in his home that he, as punishment, he would be forced to sleep in a small room that he was locked in on a bare mattress. He usually didn't have a blanket or a pillow. The reason that Charlie was removed from his biological home was his mother overdosed. Charlie unfortunately was home and witnessed that, and he called 911 in response. So Charlie is very likable, he's very sweet, great manners. The major things that all the staff have been working on with him is building trust. In therapy, he's working on processing his trauma and his grief. He talks a lot about missing his mom despite everything that he went through. He's very fearful of the future, leaving here. What does that mean and where he will go? Staff do a great job of nurturing him and giving them those positive experiences that he most likely didn't have before. Our kids, they come here, and this is the first safe place they've ever been. And a lot of them don't know how to handle that. And Charlie's a good example of, that fear of the unknown. We're not sure what his plan will be for when he leaves here. Most likely it will be a foster home. I think that he's going to take some time to really start to trust, even in that process of thinking about that.
Hi, I'm Bob Hoffer. Just want to spend a little time with you today to talk about Charlie and the other 37 kids like Charlie at DCCH. What's it feel like to be afraid to go to sleep at night because someone that you live with is going to physically or sexually abuse you in the middle of the night? What's it feel like to not know where your next meal is going to come from if there's going to be a meal? What's it feel like to walk into the doors of DCCH carrying all your belongings in a plastic bag? What's it feel like to watch your mother die right before your eyes of a drug overdose? What's it feel like to have no hope that anyone will ever be able to love you without expecting something in return from them. All of the children at DCCH, all 38 of them, have lived lives exactly like Charlie. Physical and sexual abuse by people that should be loving them, but instead, nothing but pain. The children like Charlie are afraid to trust anyone because everyone who they've trusted in the past has wanted something in return. This is an opportunity for all of us, particularly during this pandemic, to make a difference in the lives of these children. It doesn't happen overnight. These children aren't given a magic ointment to heal them immediately. It takes months and months of intense therapy by the people at DCCH to really change the lives and the focus of these children. DCCH provides hope in the minds of these children, hope that they will once again be able to love someone unconditionally with no expectation in return. It provides them hope that they can have a bright future instead of being stuck in poverty or drug addiction. It provides hope to these children that they will have a family and siblings that love them unconditionally. This is our chance. Through all the pandemic issues that we've all faced, one thing's remained constant. These kids need hope. We're given the opportunity today to provide that hope. I call it our gift of hope. Through a financial contribution to DCCH, we can make a difference in the lives of these children. For a $5,000 gift, we can provide someone like Charlie care, treatment for 5 months. For $3,000, that'll provide for Charlie and other kids at DCCH for 3 months. Or whatever amount you choose to give. It's greatly appreciated. It's greatly needed this year more than ever. When I was being raised, I was always secure that the next morning there'd be a meal on the kitchen table and I'd get a hug from my mom and dad. Please provide that same experience for Charlie and the other children at DCCH. Thank you for your generosity.